So today's trading isn't over yet, but currently I'm up 1.6k on the day across my 3 accounts. So let's get into it. Today, price action was clean. That's all that needs to be said. Price action was clean. And unfortunately, the Top Step servers crashed again, which is a complete bummer, but you just got to accept the circumstances because you can't change them. Here are my 2 trades. Now, I'm up $535. Cross flipping 3 funded. So, yeah, it's been a good day. And I'm grateful that I'm up instead of being down, because at the end of the day, I have come off of the markets better than I came onto them. So that's all that needs to be said, innit? The flipping trades, they're getting green. They're getting green now, man. And currently, overall, we are up 2.2k, which is, it's good, man. I'm sticking to my rules. I'm staying disciplined. I'm staying within my walls that I built for myself. So let's get into how I actually managed to take these trades. Now, just quickly before that, honestly, it is annoying that Top Step servers were down, because I ended up having to place a trade on my trading view, on my paper trading, instead of my Top Step account. Literally shorted here, stop loss here, take profit like all the way down here. I'm still in that trade right now. It's already flushed me, and yeah, man, it's annoying. But as I said, you got to accept the circumstances because you can't change them. So going into the morning, let's get this up. Chart executions off. Let's delete all of this. Mang, 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 mang. Okay, so going into the morning, what can we see? Weekly, on the weekly chart, this was Monday, this was yesterday. So cool. What am I looking at already? I'm looking at the weekly chart. I can see that we are respecting bearish order flow on the weekly chart. Ooh, no way. That hasn't even got a wick on it, that daily candle. That's mad. I didn't even see that. But anyway, what I was saying was, on the weekly chart, let's draw out OTE of the range. So here we go, fib. So on the weekly chart, we can see that OTE of the range is being respected. We've tapped 0.705 and we're holding it. We then push lower, have a retrace and push lower again. But initially, going into the morning, what did I have marked out? I had this 4-hour for value gap marked out. Now look, some people might think that we have closed above this for value gap and inversed it. We actually haven't. We're still holding bearish structure. We are respecting OTE of the range. We have rebalanced this imbalance, and even though we did close above it, it does not matter because we're holding bearish structure. So what does this tell me? This tells me that previous day high has been swept, creating an internal daily SMT. Already a very strong confluence for us to be bearish. Now, I marked this SMT out because it's just manipulation. If we want to go short, we have to eat people's stop losses. People who are longing the market here and they have their stop losses at the bottom of that candle, for us to go down, we need to take these people's money. As the people say, trading's not moral, because for someone to win £100,000, someone has to lose £100,000. The way we get down is by chewing through all of these stop losses. So that's kind of why I marked that SMT out. But anyway, we're respecting this 4-hour for value gap. We swept out previous day high. And what do you want to see after we sweep out a previous day high or a previous day low? An instantaneous reversal. And everything aligned today. Everything aligned for us to have a reversal. We're holding OTE of the range. We've swept out previous day high, creating an internal daily SMT. We are respecting high time frame bearish structure. Everything aligns for us to go to the downside. Why would we go up? Exactly. We have no reason to go up. Hence why we moved down. And I capitalized on it. Now look, you might say, Herbie, You could have got way more out of the market today. I fucking know that, mate. I know that. I could have held my short all the way from market open all the way to here. But I don't give a fuck about that because I got my piece of the pie. So let's get into how I took this first trade. Now, currently, I'm a lot more confident on the markets. But on top of that, I'm a lot more confident today speaking. I think it's just because today was such a clean day. I only need to say what's been said. We had every single reason to reject lower. That's why we rejected lower. It's as simple as that, boys. It's as simple as that. So marking out our draws on liquidity for the day. We are first going to mark out our session highs, but let's just get the opening gap range out of the way first. So, opening gap range. We have got London low from yesterday, or let's actually call that previous day low. Meow, 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 meow. Text, previous day low. So, what are we marking out? We're marking out session highs and session lows. The only session low that was resting is London. London low. Opening gap range. Relative equal lows. Low resistance liquidity. Now, low resistance liquidity is a very strong confluence to get into the trade, and in this instance, your internal draws on liquidity are London low and all of this, and your external draws on liquidity are previous day low. The high time frame being bearish obviously backs this up, but anyway, price ends up running this high again on YM. You can use that as a confluence. Personally, I didn't because you didn't really have any need to mark out this S&T, but hey ho, it kind of aids the bias. Anyway, we've got all of this low resistance liquidity in the market. What do we want to see in the New York Open? If we're bearish, we want to see a slight internal manipulation to just flush lower. So we're going to go on the lower time frames here. We can already see that we have a bunch of low resistance liquidity here. And we've obviously got this low here. And look, in markets like these, 4 words need to be said. Be patient, wide stop loss. That is it. These markets will manipulate the living shit out of you if you are trading too small of a time frame. If you're too zoomed in, you will learn your lesson. You will learn your lesson, and I've learned it. So anyway, market comes up to this 1 minute for value gap. We end up putting in an SMC here, and you could say this is too zoomed in, but at the end of the day, we manipulate longs, so long up here. But anyway, I wait for shit to get played out. I don't just instantly enter in short here just because we've had a massive wick. I wait. We have got a double internal 30-second low lined up with this low, lined up with London low. Obviously, you're going to short. I ended up shorting about here with my stop loss wide, man. And looking back at it, it was a pretty silly take profit. Like, no greed attached to what I'm about to say, but I don't go for one-to-ones. Now, in this instance, I went to a one-to-one initially, but as soon as price favored my direction, I shortened my stop loss and I added contracts. But instead of this being a 1-to-3 now, I ended up averaging my entry to like here, and it was a 1 to flipping like 1 to 1.6. So look, confluences were there. The profit was not, but it is what it is. I ended up capitalizing because I used up all of my past experience to see this trade play out. It played out practically straight away. Cool. I entered in with 7 micros. I entered in with 3 micros on this candle, and then 4 on that candle, short on my stop loss, and yeah, we got 500 off that, which is the equivalent to 1.5k. Now look, hindsight, no shit should I have held it. No shit should I have held it. And I'm not saying that because we've just dumped all the way to the floor. I'm saying that because naturally, like, bro, why wouldn't you hold this trade? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Everything aligns for price to go lower. So why wouldn't it go lower? Exactly. Why wouldn't it? Second trade comes up. We've already taken London low at this point. We have got one low resting here and one low resting here, being the low of day. So low of day here, and then there's just a flipping, just some more liquidity there. We can see that price is not having any retracements into fair value gaps. And in this time, you understand that price has zero remorse to have a retracement. You need to understand when price is in this cycle, when it has no remorse to retrace higher, you need to look for internal SMTs. As we can see, price didn't retrace to this gap, didn't retrace to that gap, and there were no other gaps in this range. That is purely because price had an SMT internally here with ES. ES went higher, NQ went lower. You can say what you want, but if you backtest this, you will see it. I've seen this dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Internally, when we are in a zero remorse mood, we're in a mood to just continue to dump, we will just continue to dump, and we will dump based off of manipulating people into selling at the wrong time in this instance, or buy. So look, SMT was put in play. Usually I would just enter in here and just put my stop loss here, targeting lows, because at the end of the day, you need a wide SL and you need your conviction. Conviction was there on this trade. Unfortunately, I just wasn't. I was slightly attached to the money. I'm not gonna lie. I was slightly attached to throwing all of my profits in the bin if this trade didn't play out. I ended up waiting and waiting and waiting till a very, very highly probable time. I waited for price to sweep out this low. I waited for price to retrace higher to stop out everyone who entered in short here. Everyone who enters in short here, price breaks through this low, they move their stops to break even. Price comes back, targeting their stops, and then has a move to the downside again. That is why I entered the trade. I entered in based off of seek and destroy. I saw on the 15 second, remember, the low of day is still hanging. This liquidity is still hanging. We have manipulated to the upside. We have now got sell side liquidity. Sell side liquidity. Sell side liquidity. That was all that I needed. I didn't need to go on a 15-second chart. I just understood. It was the perfect time. So I entered in short, right about here. And stop loss was, let's call it here or here, but realistically, I understood that price had like a 90% chance of just running through these lows. And as soon as it was going to run through the lows, I was moving my stop loss to break even to reduce risk as a whole. Take profit was originally at this low, but I would have held it to low of day after understanding that price was just manipulating here and manipulating here. And yeah, man, I'm not saying anything that didn't happen. Everything that I'm talking about happened in the market, and I used all of this stuff to trade in it. So yeah, man, it's been a good day so far, and I probably won't get in another trade. Well, I'm not going to get another trade. It is unfortunate that Top Step servers were down. I definitely would have got an entry some point in here, but honestly, it is what it is, man. So yeah, I hope you didn't blow any accounts today. If you did, there's always another day to trade. It's only one step in your journey. So I appreciate all of you, and I will see you tomorrow.